Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is all about simple, joyful cleaning, and I promise you'll pick up so many helpful tips to make your home feel lighter and easier to care for. You know, in a world where everything feels rushed, busy, and constantly demanding our attention, it's so easy to feel overwhelmed. Sometimes what we really need isn't a bigger plan or a new system, just a simpler life. And the first place that simplicity begins is right inside our own home. When our space feels calm, we feel calm. When our surroundings breathe, we breathe a little easier too. That's exactly why I made this video. I want to share the gentle, realistic cleaning habits that have brought so much peace into my life as a woman who loves creating a warm, uncluttered home. Whether you're trying to simplify your routines, let go of clutter, or find more joy in daily care, this video is here to support you in every step. So make yourself comfortable and let's continue this journey together. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. There are so many more simple living tips coming your way. Before we go deeper, let's take a gentle moment to introduce today's first theme: decluttering as a lifestyle. I used to think that once I had decluttered, my home would stay perfectly neat forever. But over the years, I've realized that this simply isn't possible. Life is constantly changing, and so are our needs, tastes, and lifestyles. Accepting this truth has made me approach tidying up with much more ease and joy. Take children, for example. When they are little, their toys, books, and school supplies seem endless. Every few months, I go through their rooms and sort what they've outgrown, what they no longer play with, and what can be donated. It's amazing how quickly their interests shift and how those same toys can suddenly feel unnecessary. And even when my children are older, their needs still affect how we organize our home. Study materials, sports gear, or musical instruments need new spaces as they grow. Seasonal changes also play a big role. When winter arrives, I pull out cozy blankets, warm clothes, and holiday decorations. During spring, it's time to rotate lighter bedding, tidy up closets, and put away seasonal items. Preparing for holidays can be both exciting and overwhelming, but having a simple system, baskets labeled bins, or a designated storage space, makes it manageable. It's these small rituals that keep our home functional without feeling cluttered. Even our personal tastes and work life evolve. I've changed jobs and hobbies over the years, which meant rearranging my home office, updating bookshelves, or swapping decorative items to reflect my current style. A chair or a lamp that worked beautifully in the past may no longer fit the room's mood or my daily routines. Accepting that these changes are normal allows me to adjust my space without guilt. In truth, decluttering and organizing are lifelong practices, not one-time achievements. Every small adjustment, sorting out old papers, donating unworn clothes, or finding a new spot for a sentimental object, adds to a home that feels peaceful and inviting. Understanding that there's no final state of perfect order has helped me embrace the process with patience, finding joy in the ongoing care of my home rather than chasing an impossible ideal. If you've enjoyed these tips, don't miss tomorrow's video where I'll show how to tackle a major home refresh and organization session. It's packed with practical, life-changing strategies you'll definitely want to try. As I embraced decluttering as a lifelong practice, I began to notice something deeper. True peace at home doesn't just come from cleaning. Now, as we move forward, let's gently transition into the next part: simple choices for a peaceful home. When I embraced this idea, it completely changed how I feel about my home and my daily life. Instead of constantly feeling overwhelmed by clutter, I now enjoy a sense of calm and ease in every room. The principle is simple: only keep items that are necessary or bring joy. For example, instead of a full jewelry box overflowing with pieces I rarely wear, I choose my 10 favorite items that I genuinely enjoy. Each piece feels special, and it's easier to find exactly what I want without digging through a mess. The same goes for clothing. I focus on a few versatile, high-quality pieces that can be mixed and matched, rather than having a crowded wardrobe that makes mornings stressful. I've also applied this principle to household appliances. Choosing compact, multi-purpose items like a versatile pot or a food processor saves space and reduces unnecessary gadgets. The benefits are remarkable. With fewer items, my home feels lighter and more organized, and I spend less time tidying up. There's no frantic search for lost items, and I can truly enjoy the spaces I live in. I notice that even small changes, donating unused items, carefully selecting what to buy, make the home feel more inviting. There's a peaceful rhythm in knowing that every item has a purpose, and this simplicity brings unexpected happiness. Ultimately, adopting a simple lifestyle is not about deprivation. It's about intentionality, focus, and creating an environment where life flows more smoothly. Living with less allows me to feel less stressed, enjoy my home fully, and experience the quiet satisfaction of order and harmony every day. Once I learned to keep only what truly mattered, I realized that maintaining simplicity is an ongoing everyday decision. And next, we step into a section I deeply love: daily choices that transform your space. Clutter often begins quietly, with a small purchase here and a forgotten item there. So I started using a very straightforward rule that has made a big difference in my home. Whenever something new comes in, one old item must go out. This one in, one out habit keeps my space from feeling overloaded. For example, when I buy a new kitchen tool, I immediately check whether there's an older one I no longer use. If I add a new blouse to my wardrobe, I choose another piece to donate. This gentle balance helps me stay mindful and prevents things from piling up before I even notice. Over time, this simple rule has brought a sense of intention to the way I shop and organize. Another habit I've learned to appreciate is what I call re-decluttering. Even after a major cleaning session, some items still linger because I wasn't completely ready to let them go. Months later, when I revisit them with fresh eyes, I often realize I no longer need them. For example, I regularly go through old bookshelves, my children's toys, or last season's clothing. Some pieces are donated, others are sold, and the rest are recycled. It feels refreshing to know these items will find a better place instead of being forgotten on a dusty shelf. I do the same with everyday household supplies. My spice drawers, makeup bag, and office supplies are checked every few months. Expired products, dried out pens, or beauty items I never reach for are removed without hesitation. It's surprising how these small areas, when cleaned out, can make the whole home feel lighter. In the kitchen, organizing by frequency of use has also made daily life smoother. The tools I rely on, like my cutting board favorite pot or everyday utensils, stay within arm's reach. Items I use less often are stored higher or further back. This keeps the countertops clear and makes cooking feel less chaotic. Together, these habits have taught me that managing a home isn't about perfection. It's about creating an environment that supports ease, clarity, and comfort. After developing those daily habits, I naturally became more mindful of how I decorated my home. Now we're arriving at one of my favorite topics: creating beauty without clutter. One thing I've learned over the years is that decorating a home isn't about filling every corner. It's about choosing pieces that truly support a calm and uncluttered space. When I decorate now, I try to be intentional, selecting items that are simple, compact, and aligned with the overall style of my home. For me, minimal decor doesn't mean boring. It means choosing pieces that allow the room to breathe. I've noticed that when too many small objects are placed on tables or shelves, the space instantly feels busy and overwhelming. So I try to limit what I display, giving each item room to shine, rather than forcing everything to compete for attention. One change that made a big difference was switching from many tiny wall pieces to just one or two larger artworks. A single big painting above the sofa, for example, feels much more elegant and calming than a cluster of mismatched frames. It creates a focal point without adding visual noise. I've also embraced small, simple decor accents like a petite vase with fresh flowers or a tiny potted plant on the coffee table. These pieces bring warmth and life to the room without creating clutter. Another practical tip is to use trays, baskets, or decorative boxes to group smaller items together. Instead of scattering candles, coasters, or tiny ornaments across a surface, I place them neatly on a tray. It looks intentional, collected, and stylish. Even when I need to clean the table, I can lift the whole tray in one motion, quick and effortless. What surprised me most is how these decorating habits influenced my mindset. Choosing fewer items made me more aware of what I truly love. And when each piece has purpose and space, the room feels calmer, clearer, and much easier to maintain. It's a gentle reminder that beauty doesn't come from excess, but from harmony. And of course, no home feels truly peaceful unless the kitchen works smoothly. And now let's move into the space we use every single day. A calm kitchen through simple systems. I've learned that the best way to keep a kitchen tidy is to divide it clearly by function: one area for cooking, another for storing food, and a separate space for washing. When each zone has its own purpose, the whole room feels more intuitive and much less chaotic. Choosing the right tools also makes a huge difference. I've become a big fan of multi-purpose kitchen items that are easy to clean and effortless to store. A single pot that can simmer, soup steam vegetables, and even bake saves so much space compared to owning separate tools for every little task. I try to avoid bulky gadgets that only do one thing. Instead, I focus on pieces that simplify my routines rather than complicate them. A few practical changes truly transformed my kitchen. Installing a wall rack for pots and pans freed up an entire cabinet, making everything easier to reach. It also keeps the stovetop area neat, because I'm no longer digging around to find the right pan. Inside the refrigerator, I use clear storage bins to separate vegetables, meat, fruit, and sauces. This not only keeps food organized, but also helps me see exactly what I have, so nothing goes to waste. One of my favorite habits is using matching jars for spices. Having them in uniform containers with clear labels adds such a calm, orderly look to my shelves. More importantly, it saves time during cooking. No more searching through a jumble of mismatched bottles. Every time I open the spice cabinet now, it feels like opening a tiny, well-run grocery aisle. What I've discovered through all these changes is that a tidy kitchen doesn't require perfection. It simply needs thoughtful systems. When everything has a place and the tools you use each day truly serve you, the kitchen becomes a space that supports calm, creativity, and comfort. Once the kitchen became easier to manage, I turned my attention to the place that matters most for rest: the bedroom. Next, we step into the room that holds our rest and quiet moments: a warm, clutter-free bedroom. A calm bedroom truly starts with keeping only what you need within arm's reach. One of the small habits that has made the biggest difference is keeping my bedside table almost empty. When there are only a few essential items: a soft, warm lamp, the book I'm currently reading, and a glass of water, I instantly feel a sense of clarity. The surface looks clean and my mind feels calm. It's amazing how removing clutter from such a small corner can change the mood of the entire room. I used to pile charging cables, skincare bottles, and random notes next to my pillow, and every night it felt like visual noise. Now the simplicity brings a quiet kind of comfort. Choosing the right bedding also transforms the atmosphere. I've gravitated toward neutral colors: soft beige, warm gray, gentle cream, because they create a warm, inviting feeling the moment I walk into the room. Neutral tones soothe the eye and make it easier to drift into rest, especially after a long day. I've realized I don't need bold patterns or a shelf full of decorative cushions. A simple, well-chosen set of sheets and a supportive pillow can bring more peace than any decoration. Storage is another part of keeping the bedroom serene. I rely on low-flat storage boxes under the bed to hide off-season clothes or little items I don't need every day. It keeps the closet from overflowing and prevents unnecessary clutter from creeping into the room. And to make the space feel brighter and more open, I hang light-colored curtains that let natural light filter through softly. Every morning, the gentle glow makes the room feel fresh and spacious. In the end, a peaceful bedroom is built from thoughtful choices, not from having more things. When the space supports rest instead of demanding attention, it becomes a true sanctuary, warm, simple, and deeply comforting. With the main rooms feeling more intentional, I needed a way to keep everything running smoothly without burning myself out. That's where my gentle weekly routine comes in. And now we arrive at a practical but deeply comforting part, a gentle weekly cleaning routine. In fact, the more I break tasks into small, manageable steps, the lighter everything becomes. Instead of trying to clean the whole house in one exhausting day, I've learned to give each space its own moment during the week. On Mondays, I start with the living room, the heart of the home. I spend just 15 to 30 minutes wiping surfaces, vacuuming the floor, and putting remote controls or scattered books back where they belong. I used to think I needed hours to make the living room look presentable, but focusing on a few simple tasks keeps it consistently tidy without draining my energy. Tuesdays are for the bedroom. This is when I fold clothes that tend to pile up, smooth the pillows, and quickly check the closet for anything that's out of place. I always tell myself that a tidy bedroom equals a tidy mind. Even spending 10 minutes reorganizing one shelf or drawer can make the room feel peaceful again. Midweek, on Wednesdays, I move to the kitchen. I wash the dishes, wipe the counters, and rearrange the tools I often use so they're within easy reach. A clean kitchen motivates me to cook more, and cooking at home always brings a special kind of comfort. Even on busy days, a quick wipe can make the whole space feel fresh. On Thursdays, the bathroom gets its turn. I clean the sink, the mirror, and gather personal items that somehow scatter around skincare bottles, hair ties, or brushes. Bathrooms get messy faster than we expect, but a consistent weekly reset keeps it bright and inviting. Fridays are for closets and storage. I check drawers, remove items I haven't used, and give clothes a better home. It's also the day I decide what to donate or recycle. Keeping storage areas organized makes the rest of the house feel lighter. Saturday is my gentle finishing touch day. I go over decorative items, tidy small shelves, and refresh the look of the home by rearranging a few pieces. Sometimes it's as simple as dusting a photo frame or switching out a vase. Breaking each space into small steps makes everything manageable. The key is not perfection, but progress, consistency, and the peace that comes from caring for your home little by little. And even with a good routine, there's one truth every homemaker eventually learns: some items need to be revisited. Finally, let's close with a truth I learned only through experience. Decluttering works better the second time. This final section shows how clarity grows beautifully each time we revisit our belongings. Instead of aiming to overhaul an entire room in one exhausting afternoon, I allow myself to work piece by piece. One drawer today, a shelf tomorrow. This small, steady rhythm keeps me moving forward without pressure or guilt. One habit that changed everything for me is celebrating every tiny moment of letting go. Each item I release, an old scarf, an unused kitchen gadget, feels like a small victory. Over time, these victories accumulate, and my home naturally becomes lighter, calmer, and easier to care for. I also practice what I call re-decluttering, revisiting items I once struggled to part with. It's surprising how much clarity time brings. When I return to an object weeks or months later, I often see it differently, more honestly. The attachment softens, and decisions feel easier, almost effortless. This second look helps reduce the anxiety that often comes with decluttering, turning it into a gentle, mindful experience instead of a stressful task. From my own life, I once held onto a shelf full of books simply because they had been with me for years. When I revisited them, I realized many no longer reflected who I am. Donating them felt freeing. The same happened with a box of sentimental trinkets. After several rounds of re-decluttering, only the truly meaningful pieces remained. And those somehow shine even brighter now. In the end, everything we've explored today comes back to one simple truth. A peaceful home is built through small, consistent choices rather than one perfect moment. With gentle routines, mindful decorating, and patient decluttering, your space can slowly transform into a place that supports ease, comfort, and genuine happiness. And if you're longing for a home that feels lighter and more intentional, I encourage you to start applying even one of the tips we talked about today. Each tiny step creates real change. If you're ready to go even deeper, I have a separate video all about a full home reset and deep organization, a complete transformation session you absolutely shouldn't skip. It's filled with practical ideas that can truly elevate your daily life, and missing it would be such a loss. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. Everyone deserves a calmer, clearer living space, so share these tips with the people you love.